Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Dr. Jeff Riggenbaugh here with you on another Tips Tuesday, where I bring you a tip for dealing with the difficult people in your life. This free social media series is based upon the content of my new book and coaching program, Disarming High Conflict Personalities. And I continue to come to you every Tuesday, giving you just a brief tip, tool, or tidbit related to the content that hopefully can help you deal with the difficult person in your life. We have made our way to the eighth of the 8 types of difficult people. So we've covered the bully, we've covered the con artist, we've covered the drama mama, we've covered the victim, we've covered the landmine, we've covered the yes man, and we've covered the overanalyzer. And finally, we are to the skeptic. By the way, if you haven't gotten your cheat sheet on kind of your top 10 tips for dealing with skeptics, click that link below and grab your cheat sheet. That'll give you some additional resources for dealing with this group. But today's video, we're going to focus on 3 red flags for dealing with skeptics. 3 red flags that you might be dealing with a skeptic in your life. So ways to sort of notice this sooner. And the first one is maybe a little more subtle, but it just has to do with silence. So this group is skeptical, obviously. They are suspicious of what you've got to say, but unlike a bully or a con artist or maybe a landmine, some of these other types, they're not going to get up in your face and voice that disagreement immediately. They're going to sit back and they're going to stew about it. They're going to think about it. They're probably thinking about ways that you might use it against them or ways that you might be deceiving them, but they're not going to be up in your face immediately. So actually, sometimes these people are even loners. If you're in education and you're looking at the kids that are always kind of loners on the playground or wandering off by themselves, may have some of this in them. So silence right off the bat. And one of the hard things about this is it would be a little easier to identify if they just came right out and shared their conspiracy theories the first minute you met them. But even if it's a personal relationship in your personal life, a friend, you got to get to know the person pretty well before they are comfortable sharing some of these conspiracy theories and other, maybe even almost paranoid related ideas. So initially in this group, we see silence. Number 2, we see blame. Red flag number 2 is blame, and that's sounds a little bit generic maybe because blame is a part of all 8 difficult people styles, but it may be especially pronounced in this group. So somebody else is always doing it, and it has more of a malevolent intent behind it as well. So, corporate is behind payroll, really stealing from us. Or, Susie over there stole my idea in the work group so she could take credit for it and make her my own. And maybe even when she emailed a summary of the group's work in that particular day and asked for responses from everybody on the team to share what they contributed, and everybody else shares what they contributed. But when you get to the skeptic, they may not share it, and sort of falls in the silence category as well. Silent email, lack of response, even if it's via email, because I'm not quite sure what you're going to do with that information. I don't want to get it here documented, and I don't want to give it to you in any format, really, so that you might take it and use it against me. You might take it and use it to propel yourself and diminish me in some way, hurt me or my standing in the company or that kind of a thing. So blame. A lot of blame, a lot of grievances. I think of the Seinfeld. Was it George's dad and the Christmas Festivus for the rest of us, and the airing of grievances. It's like this group has their airing of grievances. So these people are grudge holders. Okay, so they can't be trusted. And so that can show up again in professional life, in personal lives. I mean, these people are the people that are they're always cheating on me. They're always out to get me in some way. That nobody's faithful. You're always doing something behind my back. If you had an affair or any semblance of an affair, maybe you just talked with a member of the opposite sex in a way that I didn't like and I was suspicious of, then I'm going to hold that against you in some way. And actually that moves to our red flag number 3, is that they're punitive. They're punitive. So this is the group that they're going to hold it against you in some way. Skeptics are your consummate grudge holders. They're not going to forget it. Whether it was a wrong or a perceived wrong, they're going to hold on to it. And they're going to remember it. And sometimes they're even going to get you back for it. Maybe it's just a passive-aggressive sort of thing in a personal relationship. Maybe it is, more overt. I mean, so these are also the people that are known for their lawsuits, and that's a bit extreme, although sometimes it happens. But filing hostile work environment complaints, and I don't mean to say that frivolously. Those obviously, hostile work environments obviously do exist, and there are times that complaints need to be filed. But these people are oftentimes going to perceive a hostile work environment in situations where others don't necessarily perceive it as a hostile work environment. So you're looking for, the filing of grievances against other employees, those kinds of things. You get off on the wrong foot with the teacher, and I'm going to hate you, I'm going to hold this against you the entire rest of the semester or the entire school year. I'm going to stay punitive with other congregation members, or, I can never trust this person on my work team again. And if I have a way that I'm going to kind of get him back or get her back, even if there's a way I can take a preemptive strike to hurt you before you hurt me, then that is going to protect me in the process. So these are the kinds of things that you're looking for. And some of them show up even at a pretty early stage in the relationship, whether personal or professional, with the skeptic. So I hope these 3 red flags were helpful for you for identifying skeptics in your life a little bit earlier. Number 1, you may just see a silence, a lack of hearing from them, whether it's in verbal form or written form. Number 2, they've got this just tendency to blame, even more so than any of the other difficult people types. And it's always somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else is out to get them in some way. And number 3, if I believe you were out to get me in some way, I may do something out of my airing of grievances. I may actually act on those, and I may do something punitive to hurt you or to get you back. Personally, I might cheat on you if you cheated on me. Professionally, I might create a paper trail and submit to the supervisor to make it look like that you were doing something that I can frame as having harmful intent towards the rest of the team. These kinds of things. So again, if you want the rest of your red flags for identifying skeptics, or if you want the top 10 tips for dealing with skeptics, once you identify that that's what you're dealing with, top 10 strategies for actually dealing with these folks, click on that link below, grab you the tip sheet. Again, that'll get you on my email list, where you will get a weekly tip, tool, or tidbit for dealing with difficult people in your life of a variety of kinds. Gives you some additional resources for dealing with those folks. Hope this video has been helpful. Hope those 3 red flags sort of piqued your memory to somebody in your life that might fit this category that you can hone on and deal with in a more effective way now. Hope everybody has a great week, and we'll look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Bye for now.